Admiral, the Hamas representative gave an interview to Russian television, which they said they'd be willing to trade hostages for Hamas prisoners in any prisoners, including in the United States. And they specifically said the United States has traded prisoners before, citing the Iran deal that was just made. Is that something the United States would consider doing in the case of American citizens?
I haven't seen that particular report, so I'm going to be loath to comment specifically on it. What I will tell you, just broadly speaking, is we obviously take seriously our responsibilities to get Americans held overseas back with their families. We have in the past entered into negotiations to do exactly that, and we have not foreclosed any option right now in terms of these particular hostages. Obviously, if their return to their families can be arrived at in a peaceful way without additional risk to their lives, that is certainly something we would take very, very seriously.
Possible release of people that we might be having in our prisons?
Again, I won't get ahead of where we are. Peter, even if I had more knowledge about this offer than I do today, my answer to you would be the same. It's never a good idea to negotiate for the transfer of hostages or detainees in public, lest you torpedo the actual success you're trying to achieve. But I don't have a lot more granularity or context on this. All I can tell you is, as Jake said himself better than I can, we'll do everything that we can, everything possible that we can, to get these Americans back home. I would remind Peter, we still don't have a lot of information about exactly how many, where they are, not even all who they are. So there's an awful lot of information we need to gain before we come up with any concrete policy options.
How does the Israeli strike on the Syrian airports change the situation? And then, can you also address reports that the Egyptians warned the Israelis in the days prior to the attack?
I've been asked that question about the Egyptian warning. I don't have anything on that. You'd have to talk to Egyptian authorities. I don't have anything, and I certainly wouldn't talk about intelligence matters. And on your first question, that's a better question put for the Israeli Defense Forces, not for the United States. We're focused on helping them go after Hamas.
Good, in the back there.
Question about Lebanon. So Hezbollah is continuing operating against the Israeli targets at the border, Lebanese-Israeli border. Are you still concerned that Hezbollah could be taking part in this war?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any intelligent information about the capability of Hezbollah that they've been preparing, and we know that the capability is way stronger than Hamas?
They are a potent terrorist group, no question about it. We watch them closely. The Israelis watch them closely. We don't want to see this conflict widened. We don't want to see Hezbollah make that kind of a decision. And I would remind, again, that we take our national security interests very seriously in the region. And the reason why we moved a carrier strike group to the Eastern Med was to act as a deterrent for any other actor, including Hezbollah, that might think that widening this conflict is a good idea.
American forces might, last question, American forces might join the war if Hezbollah made a difference.
Are you implementing a policy decision there?
No, I'm just asking. You have two big ships, one coming on their way. So I'm just wondering if Hezbollah changed the game and did they make a big impact in the war and made Israel look another surprise maybe.
I appreciate the effort to try to get me to confirm a hypothetical. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. There is no intention or plan to put American troops on the ground in Israel. There's no desire by the Israelis for that outcome. So I'm just not going to get ahead of where things are.